Oh, hey guys, Tomer here, welcome. I found this article on January, well, not really an article. So this HuniePop, the HuniePop development wiki, essentially, January 18. Social Justice Warrior reviews HuniePop. Well, HuniePop, just so you know, is a kind of a cross between like Candy Crush and, well, between Candy Crush and pretty much, a dating simulator kind of thing. But yeah, it's not that exciting, but I watched Jacksepticeye's series on it and I would really recommend it. I'll have probably in the description below. The game is very nice in my opinion. The game is very good. I'm probably gonna buy it. But yeah, that might not give the best impression, but trust me, it's a very nice game in my opinion, at least, But let me read this. Because Social Justice Warriors, I've already talked about Social Justice Warriors in my Gamergate video, but just so you know, I hate them. I fucking hate them. I prefer not to call them human. I prefer to call them pieces of shit. No, not human. Nope. I refuse to call them human. They are so despicable. They don't deserve to be called human. Anyways, though, and I don't want to be associated with them in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to even be in the same room as them. They're fucking disgusting. Anyways, though, so Social Justice Warrior reviews HuniePop. Spoiler, he doesn't like it. Yeah. In a stunning display of naivety, I sent a review bill to a bleeding heart Social Justice Warrior who had no intention of giving an objective review. I absolutely believe it. Probably twice. I absolutely believe it because Social Justice Warriors are known for projecting their fucking morals and all their Puritan beliefs into everything. Like, if you look at the state of the video game press lately, you'll see what I mean. You'll fucking see what I mean. I've stated before that there is no chance the mainstream games media is going to give HuniePop a fair shake. True. It's going to be attacked relentlessly because it doesn't conform to the politically correct narrative and cultural standards set forth by these people. I've somewhat jokingly said in the past that this game is basically a Social Justice Warrior's worst nightmare. Fucking spot on. Everything, from the politically correct narrative to the cultural standards, to these people controlling the press, to this game being a Social Justice Warrior's worst nightmare. Everything's fucking spot on. Absolutely true. Let's move on. Well, I was right. Several press outlets reached out to me to do an early review of the game. I blame only myself and my lack of experience dealing with games press, but I blindly agreed without doing the most basic investigation into who these people are and what their agenda is. They absolutely have an agenda. I'll have many videos in the description. Many videos in the description. Just so you can absolutely read what the fuck is going on here. Because, like, I know that most people know who Social Justice Warriors are. At this point, with Gamergate and everything. Gamergate brought up lots of things. But I want people who don't know about them to learn. I'll have lots of videos in the description below. So all of these reviews has been published, and of course, in stark contrast to the positive review I posted yesterday, this author finds absolutely no redeeming qualities about the game. Well, that's his choice. But let's see. At first I was simply confused, but one glance at the author's social media accounts cleared up the issue. Obviously I have sent the review bill to a politically motivated individual. I absolutely believe that this is true. I have no links. He has provided no links to the actual review, so I can't exactly say which review it is. I can't find the actual review, I really can't. It's very hard because he never actually specifies what the actual review is. However, I would like to state that, let's see, I would like to state that I absolutely believe this because it really sounds like a Social Justice Warrior, and considering that the press is actually just a bunch of Social Justice Warriors, I absolutely believe, I have every reason to believe that a Social Justice Warrior did this. Not only is every aspect of the game unfairly dragged through the mud, I absolutely believe this too, but the author insults the audience and accuses the game of being all manner of delightful things, including, of course, racist, which is absolutely bullshit, as far as I've seen. There is nothing even remotely racist. The only thing I could find that could be kinda racist would be essentially, it would be essentially, there is a woman that guides you into, that is kind of your advisor, and she's like, oh, you do this with this chick, you say this with this chick, you try to be this kind of person with this chick, and she essentially says, oh, there's like a Japanese chick in the game, and she's essentially like, oh, I've got the biggest case of yellow fever. That's pretty much the only thing that could be considered racist about this game, and that's not even fucking offensive at all. It was meant as a compliment, well, not really, but it was meant as, I love these women, I fucking have a fetish for these types of women, pretty much. And also there's the other thing, which is like, there's a black woman in this game, and she was like, I love me some chocolate. The woman that the advisor was like that, she said something along these lines. And these are pretty much the only things that could be considered offensive, could be considered racist. And even then, I don't find them racist. I truly don't see a reason why someone would find them racist. So anyways, let's move on. So, the worst part is, I probably did this not once, but twice. I'm somewhat reluctantly willing to give this second author a benefit of the doubt, so I guess we'll see what happens. Fortunately, review builds are also being sent out to trusted outlets with strong ethics policies such as GamesNosh, Niche Gamer, and TechRaptor. And I suggest all of these sites. I also suggest The Escapist, but yeah, these three sites plus The Escapist means actual reliable sources of video game news. So look out for those. Even if they were to give a mixed or unfavorable review, at least you can take comfort in the fact that they actually reviewed the game. The creator, here's the thing, why am I giving such a big emphasis on this phrase? Because he's literally like, even if they don't like the game, at least they fucking reviewed the game. They didn't just give their fucking moral opinions. They didn't give their Puritan beliefs and drag the game through the mud just because of their Puritan beliefs, Because here's the thing, if this really happened, because I am kind of questioning whether or not this happened since there is no actual link provided. I mean, I know why he wouldn't provide a link, but I haven't searched actually for the article, and I'm afraid to do so because I don't have adblock. I don't feel like installing it, I'm too lazy right now. I wanted to make a quick video just because I didn't make a video last week, and I want to make up for, not making a video last week. And, I truly fucking think that social justice warriors would do that. It really sounds like a social justice warrior. This whole thing just reeks of social justice warrior. It absolutely does. And let's see. So, I'm actually saying that the creator is like, give me the worst review of the game. At least review the game. He literally says that because below people are like, wait, let me show you. Where is it? Alright, so no, alright, so please wait, oh, here it is, alright, so TBQH, the first rule of games press is don't fucking talk about your negative reviews or bash the reviewer. That reeks of immaturity and unprofessionalism. Deal with the fact that people don't like your game and find it offensive. Don't try to discredit them or drag them through the mud. It really only makes you look bad. This was written by a person here on. First of all, this was published. The development blog is actually a blog on Tumblr. Tumblr, for those of you who don't know, is actually the stronghold of the social justice warriors. It's their fucking center of power. Of course, you would expect lots of negative comments on this article. So anyways, the thing here is that my only problem with what this person said is that This is not just a review that is negative. That's not true. This is a review. This person strikes me as the type of person who has no idea what a social justice warrior is. Or is actually a social justice warrior. Because here's the thing. It's fucking... These people always judge everything because of their fucking morals. If something isn't moral in their opinion, they're gonna drag it through the mud. They're gonna unjustly judge it without, any, they're gonna judge it not for the game, but because they don't, like it. They don't like the whole, they don't like the, if they don't like the game, they're gonna just, not because they don't like it because of the gameplay or the graphics or any other reason like that. Because they don't like it because of the setting or what's portrayed in the game or what they find racist. Because here's the thing, what social justice warriors find racist, sexist and misogynistic are not actually racist, sexist or misogynistic. They rarely are these things. The normal person would probably say that's not racist. A social justice warrior would say that's racist. That's the thing. And so this is not just negative press. This is not just a negative review though. This is not a negative review that this person published. This is the review that this person is that the developer is talking about is not a review that was where it judged the game. And look at this. This person is literally saying the fact that people don't like your game and find it offensive. So if I find something offensive, I shouldn't judge it for what it is. I should judge it because I find it offensive. Good fucking job. That's just great right there. That's really smart. Anyways, let's look at this conversation now. So Trails Takashi. So Takashi originally said, "What is Honeypop though? What's it about? What does it have to make it politically incorrect? I mean, fuck the PC police journos and social justice warriors by all means, but I'd like a bit of context." So Trillies replies with, "I'd explain more things in detail, but considering you're a brony, a homestuck, and someone who goes, fuck the social justice warriors, I think it would be a waste of time on my end since you wouldn't read or care about any of it. So for once, take the shortcut and tell you the obvious solution of you could always try reading the review link the whiny baby OP included in his post." What review? What review is there a review? Is there a review? Is a link anywhere? Can I find the link? Excuse me. Link? No link. Alright. So Takashi says, "So in other words, you have absolutely no argument. Okay, glad to know that you are fine with wasting your own time being a passive-aggressive dumbass white knight for a shitty excuse for a journalist. Also, this picture the person has, call me crazy, but that looks pretty homestuck to me." And that's exactly what I believe. That Takashi is absolutely correct here. Sigh, please imagine the rest of my posts in a robotic, deadpan tone. Wait, is it Takashi that's absolutely correct here? Yeah, it's Takashi. Please imagine the rest of my posts in a robotic, deadpan tone of a voice, because that's basically how I'm feeling right now. First of all, a character in the game explicitly says something to the effect of how they have yellow fever. Here's a handy-dandy link explaining why that's gross and racist. Let's see, what's this link? Oh, I have no ad block. Fucking hell. I'm not clicking that shit, no. Sorry if I look a little unprofessional for not clicking the link, but I'm sure it's some social justice bullshit, and I've already dealt with enough of that. All that took was a quick Google search. You're very clearly on the internet. You can do the rest. The review itself explicitly states about giving stereotypical items to the Latina character as an example of racism, which is bad because stereotyping. So yeah, if I lived in America, people, I'm Greek, personally. I am Greek. I was born in Greece, I was born to Greek parents, I am Greek. So if I lived in America and someone bought me a souvlaki or someone bought me the Greek flag and gave it to me, that's fucking, you know, stereotypical. That's fucking stereotypical and shouldn't exist, you know? Or if you give an African, not an African American, an African, a black African, if you give them fucking drums from their home country of, I don't know, of Somalia or something, then you're just being racist and stereotypical. Yeah, giving people things that remind them of their country means that you are fucking stereotypical and racist. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. It's absolutely correct. I'm just uploading right now. I'm just clapping in this amazing show of absolute intelligence, you know? Anyways, let me read. For Skiv Factor, the correct opinion in talking to a character named Andre in her first encounter and actually saying, I was going to pick up condoms for our date tonight, which happens broad daylight in the middle of a mall, sounds like so many textbook stories of sexual harassment. Yep, being fucking bold is actually sexual harassment. Good job! Good job! Continue, please! Keep telling me all these shit you are talking about. Fucking hell, these people, man. And yes, I'm well aware that I have a Homestuck fan troll icon, thank you. But guess what? I can think the game mechanics of SBRB and troll culture are fascinating as hell and dig some of the characters and still hold the opinion that Hussey and the fandom in general are hugely racist and gross, because they are. And you're a fucking social justice warrior, so fuck you. Anyways, there's so many people like this because they're fucking social justice warriors. So, let's look at this. Let's see. So, Honeypop made this. So, this. Absolutely. So, let's see. So, who's this? Who's this? This is Nomuru 2D. So, what Nomuru 2D says. To answer your question, Honeypop is a newly released PC game that's part dating sim, part Bejeweled clone, starring women with the ability to play as a woman, and made by a staff composed of 80% women. I wanna check that out. I can't confirm it right now, but I'll have a link in the description if I can confirm it. 50% without the VAs. I don't know about VAs. I don't know what VAs stands for. I'll search that. Social Justice Warriors have been throwing a fucking fit because of the game's adult content, as in per usual dating sim fare. Yeah, that's actually true. Was dummied out for Steam release, but publicly admitted to be accessible with simple file modification by users. Additionally, the studio has refused to back down from social justice warrior pressure, which is exactly what they do. They pressure people and ban their games. They pressure people into pulling their games from store and shit like that. They did this with GTA 5 in Target in Australia. They will do it with any other game they find problematic. They are fucking entitled, spoiled brats who have no reason to be here. Fucking hell. So let's read this, which has ended up with them semi-involved in Gamergate and drawing ire from more antis as a result. Yep, so the developers are kind of caught up in Gamergate. To be fair, from what I've read, they probably are a little, leaning towards Gamergate. And especially since they were attacked by the opposition, it surely means that they're not going to join social justice warriors, of course. I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna log in and like this. So let's see this. Let's look at this woman. That non-existent mixed-race British gamer band. Ultimately despondent with being spoken for by people who know nothing about me. I am #NotYourShield, which, just so you know, is a brother/sister hashtag of Gamergate. Hashtag Gamergate has also hashtag #NotYourShield, and people from Gamergate are also people from NotYourShield. And essentially, NotYourShield was a hashtag created by black people and other people of color, as social justice warriors describe them, who refuse to follow social justice warriors and refuse to help them in their efforts of destroying everything we know and love, essentially. So, judging by this picture, which I can't exactly confirm right now, but I could later, judging by this picture, and the fact that she's essentially saying, I'm not your shield, She's honestly just, she seems like actually a gamergator. Let's read further, shall we? I'm not your shield, and the male Caucasian gamers I have befriended over the last 17 years are not your scapegoat. It's about time Kotaku, Polygon, Gamasutra, Gawker, and IGF, which are all sites that were fucking unethical and were involved in the Games Journal's Pros controversy, which you can Google, but I might be able to find some links to give you. There will be lots of links in the description, so yeah, and lots of YouTube videos. And everybody else sold up. So let's see. The endless corruption and defamation at the expense of gamers and honest game developers has finally arranged me enough to venture to Tumblr. Wrap up those guilty by association fallacies. Exactly. Fucking hell. You get a medal. You literally get a medal. This woman. I like this woman. You know? Let's see. So, I look forward to beating it up later today. Luckily for you, these people are really good at kickstarting the Streisand effect and immediately drew my attention to HuniePop, which I have never previously heard of. So essentially what's going on, I guess, I don't know about the Streisand effect, but I guess what's going on is these people gained the game popularity by trying to get it banned, and that attracted more people to buying the game. The biggest epic fail in the history of epic fails. Oh my god. Oh Jesus. So I'm gonna like this too. I'm gonna like this. So let's see. What does this say? So essentially this is from Bear Pig Man. Listen, I fucking love anime games. I love puzzle games, and I cannot tell you how much time I've sunk into Sengoku Rans, Little Witch Romanesque, and Tsukihime Fate Stay Night, all games which feature a lot of content most social justice warriors would not find friendly. Would not find friendly? That's a bit of an understatement, don't you think? HuniePop, on the other hand, is boring fucking garbage that you wrote offensively for the sake of being offensive. See above comments, and that's why it's so terrible. It's not God, this game... I wish I had wrong, right. So yeah, I'm getting a little lazy right now. You know, anyways, I'm gonna read it. It's not God, this game of Bejeweled is making me really horny. I wish I had anime pussy to fucking... Oh, look, some anime pussy. That is being cruder and more insulting and fucking dehumanizing, which, considering that is anime porn games, that says something than anything else I've seen. You're writing for fucking 12-year-olds mentally. This is coming from someone who is, by all means, your target audience. Your game is shit because it's shit, not because social justice warriors have a slanted view on your game. And of course this was written by a social justice warrior because of the words used. Dehumanizing. Never used by a normal pussy. By normal pussy. By normal person. These people are pussies. That's why I confuse the things, you know. A normal pussy and a normal person, you see. These people are fucking pussies because they're fucking cowards. When you challenge their ideas, they're gonna fucking block you, you know? But yeah, essentially I tend to call them either pussies or fucking rich kids or despicable pieces of shit. You can choose one of the names and use it for yourself. But yeah, essentially I was also kind of reading the above sentence, which was like, anime pussy, yeah. But yeah, this game is dehumanizing. Of course social justice warriors have a slanted view on his game, but you cannot see it because you are a social justice warrior. Fucking hell, you idiot. Alright, so let's see. To answer your questions, please imagine the rest of my... So in other words, you know, you absolutely... Yeah, the first day, alright, really, this game... Alright, I'm gonna read this. So, this is the last one I'm gonna read, I think. Yeah, this is the last one. So come with me if you want to live, alright. So, I've played piles of VNs. This was written by Throw Money at People. I've played piles of VNs. I bought a bunch of weeaboo games. I played there are a bunch of things that I'm into that most social justice warriors would probably consider in poor taste. Game is shit because it's shit. So yeah. So another person, you know, bashing on the game because they're fucking social justice warriors. So This person right here is essentially saying, really, this game is trashy and mean-spirited as all hell, which, considering, as others have said, a lot of Japanese made games that are better is really something. Really, this game is trashy and mean-spirited as all hell. But I'm not gonna specify why, because that would be fucking constructive criticism, wouldn't it? Ah, fucking hell, these people get on my nerves. And they're literally attacking a game I really like, you know? And a person disagreeing on whether the game is good or not is fine by me. I have disagreements too. I understand that there are people who might not like it for the content it has. But the people that don't like it for the content it has should fuck off. They shouldn't be writing reviews about the game. If somebody didn't like the controls of the game, if somebody didn't like the puzzles in the game, if somebody didn't like the graphics, the stories of the girls, or if somebody was like, oh, these girls are too, you know, stereotypical, then I would be like, yeah, alright, fine, you have that opinion, it's good for you. But here we see a bunch of people being social justice warriors and being like, that's racist, that's racist, that's racist, oh, that's stereotypical, that's horrible, that's misogynistic. And it's fucking horrible. Because these people shouldn't be allowed to rate games because of their fucking narrative, because of their fucking beliefs, because of all their fucking views and everything they stand for. Because the things they stand for, they don't have a right to write reviews because of the things they stand for, you know? If I was like I am anti-Puritan. If somebody made a Puritan game about how, you know, how it's bad to, you know, show the bodies of women, the naked bodies of women, I'm not gonna review that product because I'm absolutely biased and I'm gonna say the most vile shit and drag the game down because you know what? I fucking hate Puritans. Well, actually, to be fair, I would probably not drag the game down because of the creator. I would just simply have a rant about how the creator is a fucking Puritan and everything like that. And how much I fucking hate him for it, and that this game is garbage because he's essentially projecting his views onto the game. But I wouldn't consider actually writing a review for the game. I would judge the person that made the game, but not the game itself, because I would be biased. These people, they don't understand